Capitulum XXVI, Daedalus et Icarus, Lecture 2, versus unde vicesimus, usque adversum tricesimum primum. Daedalus in labyrinto inclusus, cum filio suo, intra muros erabat, nec exitum invenire poterat, et si ipse labyrinthum edificaverat. Daedalus, having been shut up in the labyrinth with his son, was wandering within the walls, but he was not able to find the exit, although he himself had built the labyrinth. Notice inclusus at the end of the first line, which is a perfect passive participle from the verb includere, which we've already seen in this chapter. And so this participle tells us that the action described in the verbal idea in the participle happened to be for the main verb. So if the main verb in this clause is erabat, he was wandering around, this wandering around took place after he had been shut inside the labyrinth. So if we are going to translate the participial phrase with a finite verbal expression in English, we would use the pluperfect tense most likely. After Daedalus had been shut up inside the labyrinth with his son, he was doing this other thing in the past, namely wandering around within the walls. Notice intra, a preposition that takes the accusative case, erabat, the imperfect tense, along a family verb, errare. But he was not able, another imperfect verb, poterat, he was not able to find the exit. Although, etsi, he himself, ipse, had built the labyrinth, edificare, to build. The tense of edificavere is pluperfect. Quoniam igitur, alie viae clause erant, ille vir audax per aera, effugere constituet. So since other ways were shut, that daring man decided to escape through the air. Igitur, generally post-positive. Other ways, notice not the other ways, cetere, but alie, just saying other ways. And clause erant, again we can do that in a number of ways. We can feel that participle more as an adjective, and see erant simply as the imperfect with an adjective, or we can see there originally the pluperfect from claudere, claudere, clausisse, clausumesse, clause erant, although other ways had been closed, and so were then shut. So that pluperfect, we can give it a perfect force or an imperfect force, because the shutting wasn't happening, but they were already in a shut condition. That daring man, audax, audacious, one termination, third declension adjective, aeris, a Greek word, and so we have this somewhat funny-looking short a accusative singular termination, aeris, aeri in the dative, but aera in the accusative singular. Orberg calls your attention to this in the margin of the text. Constituit, perfect tense, decided to escape. Icarus autem, qui consilium patris ignorabat, humi concedit et fessus suum inquit, ambulando in hoc carcere, quem ipse nobis edificavisti pater. Icarus, however, who was ignorant of his father's plan, sat down on the ground and said, I am tired of walking or from walking in this prison, which you yourself have built for us, Father. So, with a verb like ignorare, we might say in English, was ignorant of, but there's nothing genitive about consilium. It's simply the direct object of ignorabat in the accusative case. Humi is a rather unexpected locative form. Humus, humi, feminine of the second declension, one of the very rare feminines of the second declension, and humi is locative, like domi. At home, humi, on the ground. He sat down, perfect tense, on the ground, and he said, I am tired, and a gerund. I am tired by. I am tired out by walking. So, it's not a noun here, that's a means that has been put into the ablative, but a verbal noun, a verbal noun, a gerund. I am tired out by walking, ambulando, ablativus casus. In this prison, carceris, which you yourself, ipse, nominative, intensifying the idea of the nominative, or of the subject rather, that is built into edificavisti, which is second person singular, which you yourself have built, nobis dative, for us, Father. Ipsi per nos hinc effugere non possumus. We ourselves, on our own, or by ourselves, cannot escape hinc, from here. See how ipsi is nominative, intensifying the subject in possumus, which is first person plural. And then per nos says something like through our own efforts, or through our agency, by our own means, literally through us. But the idea is one of agency, or agent as a kind of means to the action of the verb. We ourselves cannot escape hinc, from here, huc, to here, hinc, from here, on our own, would be the English expression. Neque quisquam nos infugiendo juvare poteret, ut theseum juvit Ariadna. And no one, that is, the negation is in neque, and then quisquam, anyone, so no one will be able, poteret, future, juvare, will be able to assist us, will be able to help us in escaping. Fugiendo, the gerund in the ablative case. Ut theseum juvit Ariadna, like as ut Ariadne helped Theseus. So juvare, though it's a long A family verb, notice that it has an irregular perfect infinitive. It's juvise. Haud longum tempus nobis reliquum est ad vivendum, nam cibus noster penne consumptus est. Not at all is a long time left to us for living, for our food has nearly been consumed, eaten up. So haud, in no way at all, not at all. Is there a long time? Longum tempus. Recall tempus temporis is third declension neuter. Not at all is there a long time for us left. Reliquum, also agreeing with tempus, ad vivendum. Vivendum, a gerund in the accusative case, for living. We saw earlier, ad navigandum, for sailing. For, nam, our food has nearly been consumed. So consumptus, perfect tense, passive voice. The verb is consumere, consumsisse, consumptum esse. Pene, an adverb. Nearly, almost, entirely. Ego iam pene mortuus sum. Nisi dii nos juvabunt, numquam vivi hinc egrediemur. O dii boni, auxilium ferte nobis. I, speaking of himself, not speaking for his father, but I am already nearly dead. So here, mortuus sum is more of an adjectival with verb force than it certainly doesn't, well, it's less likely, or there's no need to force it into that verbal idea of I have died. I have already nearly died. I guess we could say that too. I am already nearly dead. One side of the coin of that perfect tense given the meaning of the verb, or have died. Certainly it's perfect in form. Either one would work here. I have already nearly died. Unless, nisi, dii nos juvabunt, unless the gods will help us, never will we go out. Egrediemur, deponent verb, gradior. Gradior, to make steps, gradus, gradus, a step. To step out, X. Never will we go out from here, hinc, vivi, nominative, plural, agreeing with the subject of egrediemur, as living ones, while living. O dii boni auxilium ferte nobis, O good gods, give us help. Fere, auxilium to the dative, an expression.